In today's world, we are increasingly dependent on technology. Our business and personal lives rely on it, but as you've probably noticed, it's unreliable. Our computers are slow, so we end up squinting at smartphones and tablets. The jokers we pay to fix our stuff have no clue what they're doing. We live in constant fear that something's going to happen to our personal data. So we're scared into paying for fake protection that proves useless when disaster strikes. Update attacks, fake Wi-Fi, cloud control, intelligent, successful people feel intimidated by the chaos and think it's somehow their fault. If they only knew what the industry was doing to them, they'd get torches and pitchforks. If only we had someone to explain it all in plain English so we can start protecting ourselves. Oh wait, we do! It's the Computer Exorcist Podcast with your host, Mark Anthony Arena.
From my laptop microphone overlooking the Atlantic Ocean in mid-coast Maine, this is the Computer Exorcist Podcast. I have a very special edition today because we are coming to you from Cousin Joey's actual garage.
Copy.
So, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Yeah, that's right. I have Cousin Joey here today in person, and he's going to answer my car questions and educate all of you, and I hope you have a great time. Here we go. Ready?
I'm ready, baby.
All right. All these, I'm still behind on the articles. These are all still from 2022, but I'm reading them because the concepts are still eternal. We still need to know what's going on, and quite frankly, society needs to catch up with what's happening. And you'll see a couple of them are predictive, right? You'll see how a lot of the stuff came true and how a lot of it luckily didn't, and so on. So this one is from thedrive.com, July 2022, came from listener Matt. And it says, BMW's heated seat subscription fee will start a war with hackers.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
It's one of my favorite pet peeves. So here we go. If you haven't been living under a rock, you've heard about BMW's controversial decision to charge $18 a month for heated seats. BMW's response to the public outcry clarified that it's only enabling a subscription for those who didn't purchase the heated seats when the car left the lot.
Ridiculous.
So that's kind of but it's still this software model of what they call monthly eternal payments or lifetime subscription, meaning you never actually own it, right? You're paying a lifetime subscription, meaning you're allowed to have it until we go out of business and then our evil validation server goes under, so then you're not allowed to use that product anymore.
I can't even believe it ever even existed to begin with.
I can't believe something so evil, an idea, someone could be that evil to come up with that idea, right?
I mean, part of me as a businessman is like, wow, they got away with it, good for them. But I would never, ever, ever, ever buy a car with that product built inside of it.
I would never support a business that does that to people, right? And when you say get away with it, that's a great point, because the whole theme of my next book is Don't Be Taken by Silicon Valley, coming soon, is that its laws will never stop this, right? The only thing that'll stop this is awareness, and here we are raising awareness for it. So here's what it says. As of now, this foray into everything as a subscription is only for select markets and specific products. This hasn't kept the rest of the world from preparing for the inevitable. Well, it's not inevitable if we raise awareness. The experienced vehicle coders are already looking into how the subscription model can be defeated using software tools that are already available on the market. Right? That's the cool thing. And another core concept of the book is that software is evil and software is brittle. And therefore it's easily broken. Right? As much as I grumble about Microsoft software, I just go in there and turn off whatever I need and we go on with life, right? Unfortunately, it's when the government tries to make it illegal to tamper with things that it thwarts the consumer, right? So,
That happened with John Deere.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and the John Deere's hiding behind that, right? They call it the DMCA, where it was an evil law that came in that said, hey, you know what? Yeah, you're not allowed to do this because then you'll be a pirate. They don't understand logic and common sense that it's your product, right? So this practice known as coding, achieved by using special piece of hardware where you plug a cable into your car, right? And then you modify your car's settings with your computer. Owners of certain BMWs can customize their vehicle software, enabling convenience features that may be paywalled. In other words, held behind a payment, right? Coding is actually quite common in aftermarket communities and is far from being exclusive to just BMW. There are similar tools for Volkswagen and Ford and so on. And BMW's recent foray into monthly subscriptions in Korea has sparked an uptick in owners interested in coding their cars. In other words, getting in there and modifying it and ripping out the paywall.
The customers want to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and I want to ask you about coding in a second. But basically, this should, again, raising awareness here, this should hurt BMW's brand image. Everything they teach you in marketing class is about how to preserve your image, right? And it would be like a giant middle finger to the customers, right? And BMW is saying, well, everyone's doing it. No, you started it.
Right.
You started it, okay? And now they're trying to do it with high beams, cruise control, and
High
remote
beams?
start. And,
Oh, my word.
well, what they say in the rest of the article is nothing controlled by software is safe. And I actually used that quote for my book. So what is coding and what can people do? As a mechanic, do you get in there with a laptop and modify the car, or do you know people who do that?
I personally don't do that, no. I know people that can do that, that they get paid very well per hour to do such things. I know that right now the big push is people are buying older cars that don't have this nonsense.
Yeah, amen. And that's so we were talking about this in the car yesterday. How eventually all of this software and sensors and trillions of regulations will be crushed under their own weight. A lot of this stuff is mandatory, right? All these fake safety regulations and all this stuff is mandatory. Eventually, it's going to be crushed, and eventually, people just simply will refuse to buy new cars.
Right.
Right? And it sounds like enough people are already refusing to buy new cars.
It's the used car market is going bonkers. It's going gangbusters. It's never been more profitable to flip used cars. Between like 2000 and 2010, if you know how to spin a wrench, you're going to make a ton of money right now.
And I love that, not only as a dude who tries to save money whenever possible, but I love that people are pushing back on the computer control. Listen, folks, you know how they say Skynet, right? Skynet is here and all that. Skynet is already here, even though the AI isn't in charge of it yet. The mechanisms are already in place, right? I gotta write that down. Skynet is already here. And so the tentacles are already there. It's just that people are still in charge for now, greedy people with no brains. But eventually the AI will control all of it, and that's how they control us. So they're already laying the groundwork, is what I'm trying to say.
Don't you feel like subscription-based everything is trying to be like jammed down our throats?
Exactly. By people with pea brains who were told in business school that you should worship this recurring revenue model.
Interesting. I wonder who taught them that.
I don't know, because I didn't learn that in school, but someone's teaching that to someone.
It's almost like they're trying to set up a brand new system, and they're trying to indoctrinate people into just a brand new way of existing, like a younger group of people. Exactly. That's what I feel is happening.
You just have to accept it. Exactly.
I don't accept any of that, but no.
But you're right. If you get the young people used to it, that's how to do it.
Right.
That's how to do it.
Right.
They want to
own nothing and be happy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, ready for the next one?
Go ahead.
This one's really good. Autoblog says Stellantis says electrification is killing the affordable car. And mind you, this is 2022. And look what's happening, right? So Citroën is worried that electrification is making it difficult for motorists to buy an affordable car. It's a real threat to ownership. That electrification increased the price of the car so much that people can't afford it anymore. It's Going hybrid threatens to drive some buyers out of the new car market for several reasons. One is the cost of the raw materials. And for context, the Citroën C4 starts at 22,900 euros with a 3-cylinder engine and 35,500 with an electric powertrain, right? So that's what, 10 grand more than 10,000 more, right? So that's a huge difference. On our side of the pond, the 2022 Hyundai Kona, 21 grand with the 4-cylinder gas burner, or 34 grand with a battery, right? Huge difference. Someone buying an Audi A8 can absorb that extra cost, right? And 8 grand is a smaller percentage of 100,000,
Sure.
right? But if you're talking a third of the price, a 30% increase in price to do this, and all you can afford is a Hyundai Kona or something, then yeah, it's a big thing. If you're just buying that, you very likely can't. A profit margin that's already wafer thin, right? And there's a guy named Arnaud Duboeuf, and he warned that the market will collapse if electric cars don't get cheaper. And here's the deal. The government incentives that we had up until recently masked the reality that it was prohibitively expensive, right? So it's you can't force things to be cheaper, right? You can't just here's some other people's money and have that. That doesn't change the fact that the batteries are too expensive so far, okay? And now, let's say I am some elite person and I buy some expensive hybrid. I'm going to get the government incentive just because it's a hybrid, right?
That's
even
a good
if
point.
I don't need the money.
That is a good point, Marco.
So instead of government incentives, you were talking to me last night about sodium
Sodium-ion batteries, yeah.
What do you
Sodium-ion batteries are an incredible technology. Long story short, they store more energy. You're getting better range for less money. The technology is still young, but I'm thinking probably in less than 5 years, you're going to have an electric car with a 6 to 800 mile range that can be charged to 80% in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So
it's back to your normal gas station times.
it's gonna happen. Who is the big player that controls that is yet to be determined. I know that there's a company whose name I forget, but they're Chinese, that they are like going full on head over heels to build this battery. And the Chinese electric car companies, I personally think, are going to dominate the American market in less than 5 years.
That soon?
Absolutely.
So let me ask you.
Absolutely. They're pushing gasoline out. Gasoline is, they don't want gasoline because gasoline is for freedom machines. They don't want us to have freedom machines. They want us to have electric cars because electric cars can be controlled. And when you don't pay your subscription, they could be like, you don't get to go to the grocery store to get groceries. Your credits are not enough. You're a bad citizen. Shame on you. That's what I think is trying. That's what I think they're trying to do. Personally.
All right, so
I kind of went off on a tangent, but yes.
Oh, I'm good at that. So I think it's CATL. Is that the firm that's doing the sodium batteries?
Perhaps. I don't know. It's a Chinese name that I can't pronounce.
So, and that's another point here. That's a great point. Even if we do the tariffs and currently we just aren't allowed to have Chinese cars, and I think that's honestly the only thing holding it back, because otherwise they'd flood and there would be a tidal wave. And even if they're not necessarily better, they're coming in, they're cheaper.
They're
and
so
our companies
cheap
are
though.
roasted.
You can get a brand new car for like 12 grand. That's with the shipping cost.
And think about all the plastic garbage you buy on Amazon, and think about how long it lasts.
Right.
So think about that with your car. Yeah,
their cars will be disposable. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You're not going to get more than like 4 or 5 years out of this car, and the aftermarket, the part support won't be there.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword, but it's coming. It's coming, and it's totally. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
So even if we're not allowed to buy Chinese brands, do you think the Chinese batteries will come in? Right, like right now, we're already buying chips from them for our cars.
Good analogy. Yes, I do think that.
So we'll start buying batteries from them. So it might be an American Chevy or Buick or whatever with a flag on the front, but it's got Chinese batteries.
Probably. And America has an opportunity to make their own.
Because it's not as inevitable as the media wants you to think.
Right.
We have a choice if we want to actually figure it out.
It sucks, Mark, because you feel powerless sometimes.
I feel powerless all the time.
You know what technology I loved was the Chevy Bolt. And the Chevy Bolt was basically a gas-powered engine. It was a tiny little engine, but that engine only did one thing: spin a generator. And it's like the trains in a city. You have a big diesel engine in the front that its only job is to spin a generator and shoot power down to the electric motors in the back of the train. Wow. That is great because it can be super fuel efficient. The engine just runs at a nominal like 12 to 1500 RPM. It just spins a generator. It sips fuel, and then you don't have to worry about, oh, my batteries need to be replaced, the value of the car, I need to get like $20,000 of a brand new battery. You're just pumping a tiny little bit of gasoline into an engine to power the generator. And then you have an electric car with an insane amount of range. Why did that get totally canceled? I know why it got canceled. Because it's an incredible prospect. That's why trains are so efficient. Man, if you could buy a good quality Chevy Bolt, people freaking buy one.
So, all right, that being said, won't these sodium ion batteries obviate that range extender motor, right? If I have a sodium ion battery that can go 600 miles, I really don't need that motor anymore.
The thing is like those batteries are, like once your battery is done, like what are you going to do? You're stranded on the side of the road. Mm-hmm. You know, batteries are batteries. Is there a perfect battery that can be built? I don't think so. The internal combustion engine is dead reliable.
Right.
You know, I mean, why not marry the two? Why not do that?
And you get the best of both worlds.
Why not?
Can you do so with... Isn't that too complex, though?
I don't think so. No, not with technology these days.
I don't think it's too complex.
It's not. I can't do it, but I'm sure that there's people out there that could explain it in a really easy manner. If they could come up with a kit for that type of stuff, man, you're going to be a millionaire overnight.
And you know, last night we were watching this YouTube video of this young guy who took a 1980 Toyota pickup, had a blown motor, pulled out the motor, left the tranny, left all the everything, and just plopped an electric motor in there.
That's right.
How perfect is that?
That's phenomenal. If he had one of those sodium-ion batteries in the back, and they are lighter, by the way, too, so there's another reason that they're very attractive. Oh, man, that kid would be... He would have such an incredible vehicle if he could get that battery in the back. But you can't go on Amazon and buy those batteries yet.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah. All right, here's one from Autoblog. McLaren Artura first drive review, twinsies with Ferrari. So he compares the two cars and he says the Artura, like some other six-figure hybrids, has so much technology baked in it that it has a tendency to hunt meanderingly for its algorithmically derived ideal of potency and efficiency, especially in city driving during highway passing maneuvers, second gear, sixth gear, no gear at all. This results in a hiccup here and there. As frustrating as when your phone refuses to take a command, but perhaps a bit more dangerous. And your phone doesn't cost $250,000. Shifting the new 8-speed transmission manually or driving on the track cures the car of this issue. So just do that whenever possible. In other words, this automatic transmission is sitting there hunting at $250,000.
Wow.
All right, I got another one. Autoweek.com. All right, this is great. This is really, you're going to love this one.
Okay.
I really want your opinion here.
Okay.
Tires pollute more than tailpipes, a report claims.
Okay.
Worn out tires produce 1,850 times more particles than vehicle tailpipes, according to UK researchers Emission Analytics. Microplastic pollutants, such as tire particles, generally end up in waterways and soil, as opposed to the air, and the long-term environmental and human health effects of such emissions aren't fully known. And as research into tire wear pollution continues, it is likely that emissions regulations pertaining to tires will be proposed. Oh, more regulations, right? Tire wear particles are generally small enough to enter human lungs and bloodstreams, eventually making their way to the brain, and then it makes us all crazy, and then it makes us come up with rental schemes.
That's incredible.
Microplastics such as this are increasingly being found in humans, So a couple things. Number one, I think that was really just a jab at Tesla.
Okay.
Right? They're like, hey, Tesla, this new company that's sort of coming out in 2022. Well, you're not totally perfect because your tires still make particles.
Oh, I see what they were doing.
I think they're doing that. But also, I mean, again, go back to the plastic garbage we're buying on Amazon. Think about all the plastic that's in there. Right? So that's pretty interesting. And of course,
Well,
they
how
have
much
no...
plastic are in tires? I mean, I didn't know that there was much plastic.
Okay, even so, they're saying microplastics plus all the rubber. It's just all the stuff.
Right.
Right? All
I mean,
the
I
stuff
can
that's in
understand their theory. I have thought that for a long time about like where all the water goes that comes off a highway, like it just goes, it goes into the watershed. I mean, what happens there?
there. We need more filtration, huh?
Well, I mean, the technology is there to, like in Israel, they have big giant. They take raw seawater and turn it into fresh water, like very fast. I think the process only takes a couple hours.
Wow.
Reverse osmosis.
And so that way you know you're getting pure water.
I mean, they can't get any more filtered.
No
that's
tire
all.
chunks.
There's going to be no tire chunks in the Israeli salt water.
Wow. All right, one last one. This is a sort of positive
But we should do that with all our dirty water.
Yeah. Here's one. We really should, yeah. And think about all the plastic, folks. It just, again, that's why I tell people avoid HP printers. Even if you enjoy buying your printer every year and spending $100 a year instead of buying a good one.
Don't they have the subscription thing for their ink?
Get this, and if your credit card expires on their website, they send a kill signal that kills the cartridge, even though there's ink sloshing around in there.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that nuts?
That's so hood. That's so gangster that they can pull that off.
It's horrible.
Do they disclose that when you buy?
Yeah, in the billions of legalese, in the billions of pages.
They word it in a way that, boysy.
So the only people buying HP products currently are people who think that all printers are that treacherous.
Right.
So look, folks, if you enjoy wasting money and you don't mind HP spying on you, that's fine. But just remember that I've been saying this in my speeches lately. I estimate in about 2 years, our entire planet will become a spinning ball of broken HP printers. All right, here's a
Your analogies crack me up.
and that's only half kidding, right? All right, last one, kind of positive. AutoWeek.com. You remember the Myers Manx?
I do.
The dune buggy?
Yes.
I think he actually invented it in a town in California where my cousins are.
The
so
Volkswagen air-cooled engine in the back.
Mm-hmm. What a cool way to use one of those. So Myers Manx 2.0 electric model is the spiritual and physical successor to the original dune buggy. The new owners brought a fresh electric vision to the original. Electric range is estimated at 300 miles out of a 40 kilowatt hour battery.
How many miles?
300 miles out of a 40 kilowatt.
Okay.
Which is either a little high or the designers were a little high when they came up with that estimate. Bruce Myers hand-built the first Myers Manx in a garage in Newport Beach, California in 1964. The open-topped, fun-loving, go-anywhere car became popularly known as the dune buggy, right? You could drive it on the road and then drive it on the beach. The freedom and California surfer lifestyle. If you couldn't actually live in California and surf in Mexico, you could at least have a car that looked like all the guys who did. Like our SUVs with the big rugged wheels on them, and you're just going to the grocery store,
I love
right?
the dune buggy.
Yeah, the Myers Manx has always been a symbol of joy, simplicity, and purity. It is the solution to the complexity of life. Oh, that's amazing. The optimism of 1960s California. They're partnering with an unnamed U.S.-based manufacturer, pre-launch at a Malibu beach house. And, all right, look, so 300 miles out of that battery. For comparison, there's a similar battery, it's 35 and a half, so almost 40, in the Mazda MX-30, and they're only getting 100 miles out of it. So yeah, this dune buggy is slightly lighter than that, but still, they don't think they're getting that. The first 50 cars are going to certain customers in 2023. So here's the deal there. It's 2026, and I looked at their website, and it still says reserve yours now. So I don't think it ever came out. I think they're still in that early reserve phase. However, I believe I saw one on a trailer on the way up here.
Really?
So who knows?
The old one or the newer one?
I think it was the new one.
Oh.
What do you think? You want one?
No.
Really?
No, I'm thinking I want to buy the original Chevy Bolt now. Or is it
Really?
Volt?
Well, they did similar names in order to confuse people.
I can't remember which one. I thought the Bolt was the very first one, but
The Volt was the hybrid.
okay.
The Bolt was electric.
Okay. I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
I don't want to confuse people.
It's kind of like Microsoft, where they change from years to names to version numbers every year in order to terrify people.
I hate Microsoft.
There was Windows 95, then Windows Millennium, and then Windows 8, right? Let's just keep changing our nomenclature. Yeah. I also want to thank Cousin Joey because he did a lot of work on my car this week. He did an oil change, transmission fluid change. That was nuts. Make sure, folks, PSA, go out there and look at your transmission fluid and make sure it's not dirty. It will save your transmission's life.
It really will. You really should do it 30 to 50,000 miles, every 30 to 50,000 miles, depending on how heavy you drive your vehicle.
And I did not do it every 30,000 miles.
If you can change your own oil in your car, you could change your transmission fluid. Some models are easier than others, but it's basically just a drain plug, and you replace what comes out. And in Mark's case, it was a little over a gallon.
Yeah, and
because his capacity is only 2 gallons, and so in another 10, 15,000 miles, he'll do it again, and then the fluid will just eventually get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, thus saving him from spending gobs of money on a replacement transmission.
Yeah. And so you replace half of the liquid at a time.
Only half comes out, correct.
And what do they call that again?
A spill and fill.
Love it.
A spill and fill, forget about it. That is the way to go. Save your transmission, everyone. How much was the fluid? $32.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it'll save you a lot.
That's cheaper than synthetic oil, even at the big stores, like the Walmarts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
Any other advice for our listeners today?
Any other advice? Don't be a stunad and actually do maintenance on your car. Your car's gonna love you in the long run because you're taking care of it. I mean, if you are the type of person that just sits around on your couch and eats cheese doodles and plays video games all day, don't do that to your car. What you're doing to your body is what you don't want to do to your car. Your car needs to be maintained. It needs an air filter. It needs clean spark plugs. It needs good quality fuel, a fuel filter. It's not rocket scientist. I wish people would just get into their maintenance of the car. Throw a couple $100 at your car every few months, and your car will last triple the life that a deal. That's basically the problem, is that the dealerships now are telling you, oh, it's lifetime fluid, this, that, and the other thing. It's not lifetime anything. That's BS. It's to get you to the end of the warranty period so they can sell you a replacement car.
Wow, because it's all oriented. And like the other day, my brother had a problem with his car. He had to pay a lot to have it fixed. And I told him, I said, you know what? You're still avoiding a $600, $800 a month eternal payment for a new car.
Exactly. And what did he respond? How did he respond?
And he said, yeah, you're right. He goes, we're going to fix this part once, and then we're going to move on and get another year out of it before we have some other problem. And
okay, well, let me touch on that, what you just said. Spend the extra money and buy higher quality parts. There's a lot of aftermarket parts that you can buy that are very low quality, and they will not give you the line. If you're going to do the job, if you're going to get in there and do a pain-in-the-butt job, you might as well buy a better quality part. Yes, it's a little bit more money, but then you're not going to have to do it again next year.
Right, you want to take it all apart again.
The whole mentality of cheaping out anywhere you can just drives me nuts. Honestly, It really drives me nuts.
Because you're thinking with your brain right there. You're saying, hey, we're looking at long term.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying like go out and buy, the tippy top everything. It doesn't have to be brand new OEM, but don't buy a part that you don't know. Dorman is a great company. There's a lot of great people out there that are making good quality aftermarket parts, but they cost a little bit more. There's a reason you're going to get what you pay for.
That's awesome.
Don't buy an alternator for $49 because that alternator is not going to last you at all.
You'll be stuck on the side of the
It's
road.
It's ridiculous. Like, do you want that aggravation? You're going to lose so much in aggravation. I mean, peace is so valuable, people. If you can have peace in your life, if you can strive to have peace, you're going to be happy. And that is an incredible prospect. People are not happy these days because they don't have peace, because they're overstressed and they're overworked, and they don't go out of their way to make peace for themselves or their families. I hate when that happens. It happened to me all through my 20s and 30s. Like,
Me too.
I lost so much energy not pursuing peace. I was pursuing monetary gain, and it was a bad prospect.
What an incredible way to finish that episode off, because I always try to explain how this technology stuff always has a life lesson. And you know what? Think about that. If you're so busy working to pay for some car payment,
Right.
or pay for some expensive apartment or whatever,
Right.
and then guess what? Your health eventually suffers, and then you spend a lot of money on health care and
That's
whatever,
right.
and you're suffering. So just do it right through that.
Frustration is not worth it. There, you can put a monetary value on frustration. If you can spend a little bit of money to make your whatever endeavor you're doing less frustrating, it is going to pay off dividends.
Wow. Awesome advice from Cousin Joey.
Cousin Joey.
Thanks so much for being here.
Get about!
Yeah, this is Cousin Joey's Garage episode of the Computer Exorcist podcast.
And I'll be back.
And you can get my preview edition of the book at thecomputerexorcist.com. Tell your friends about the show. Talk to you later.
And you're going to sign my copy.
Oh, yeah.